You think she chooses you because you're kind, because you're loyal, respectful, good. That's the first lie, a comforting one, but a lie nonetheless. And most men never hear the truth, not because it's difficult, but because it's painful. Freud uncovered it, and society buried it. Why? Because it shattered the illusion we all wanted to believe, that love is conscious, predictable, and fair. But it's not. Love isn't logical, it's psychological. Freud once said, "A woman doesn't always know what she wants because what she wants lives in her unconscious mind." Think about that. Most men focus on what she says, her words, her smiles, her affection. But what if the real driver of her desire is invisible? What if what she's drawn to has nothing to do with logic and everything to do with past pain, forgotten memories, hidden fantasies? Suddenly, everything makes sense. The mood swings, the cold silence, the affection one day, distance the next. It's not that she's lying to you, it's that she doesn't even understand why she feels what she feels. Because her feelings don't come from the surface. They come from somewhere much deeper. You're not losing her, she's losing herself. You might think she knows what she's doing, that her actions are calculated, but often they're not. She's reacting from a place she can't fully see. Her unconscious mind is running the show. That's why she can call you her soulmate one week and vanish the next. Why she can start a fight for no reason. Why she contradicts her own words. Not because she's cruel, but because she's confused even with herself. Patterns over promises. Freud warned us, don't just listen to her words. Watch her patterns. That's where the truth lives. Because what she says she wants and what she's drawn to are often different. She might say she wants peace but chase drama. She might say she wants consistency but feel bored by it. She's not trying to lie. She's chasing familiar patterns from her past even if those patterns hurt her. And if you're not aware of this, you'll keep thinking you weren't good enough, when really, you were just not chaotic enough to feel familiar. The trap of being the nice guy. You try to be patient, understanding, emotionally available. You think that's what she wants, but the more you give, the less she values it. Why? Because love isn't earned through effort alone. It's sparked through tension, mystery, polarity. You don't attract her through comfort, you attract her by being grounded in yourself. Not cold, not arrogant, just centered. If you lose yourself trying to be everything for her, you become invisible. Don't listen, observe. Here's Freud's timeless advice. Don't listen too closely to what she says. Watch what she's drawn to. Because her words might reflect who she wishes she was, but her behavior shows who she really is. Watch how she acts when things go wrong. That's when the mask falls. If she builds during pressure, there's love. If she punishes or retreats, there's pain she hasn't faced. Final truth, understand her, but don't lose yourself. Most men don't understand women not because women are mysterious, but because men keep looking at the surface. But when you understand her unconscious mind, everything changes. You stop blaming yourself. You stop chasing confusion. You stop believing that being a good man is enough to make someone stay. Because the strongest men don't try to control love. They recognize what's real and walk away from what isn't. She doesn't lie with her words, she lies with her smile. In the last part, we uncovered how her unconscious mind, not logic, rules her love. Now, let's go one level deeper. Because while her words may be sweet, smooth, and even poetic, her unconscious cannot lie. It speaks through behavior, through silence, sudden mood shifts, unexplained coldness. That's where the truth hides. And if you're the kind of man who believes everything she says at face value, you'll constantly find yourself confused, hurt, and wondering why her actions never match her words. You'll keep chasing her emotions, hoping they'll stay consistent while they change without warning. But if you become the man who stops reacting, who starts observing, the man who can read what she doesn't say. You become the one who can no longer be controlled by her confusion. You stop asking what happened and start understanding what's really going on. Because now you know she's not ruled by reason, she's ruled by something much deeper. The good guy gets left behind. Here's why. You meet a woman, she says all the right things. I want peace. I want a loyal man. I want stability. So, like a good man, you listen. You open your heart. You stay consistent. You reply quickly. You plan dates, show up on time, give her everything she says she wants. And still, she pulls away. She stops texting back. She becomes cold, distant. You're left confused, asking yourself, what did I do wrong? The answer? You did exactly what she said she wanted, but you didn't give her what her unconscious craved. Freud saw it clearly. He said, she may ask for peace, but her unconscious is hungry for power. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Certainty is safe, but boring. Kindness is good, but predictable. And the unconscious, especially the feminine unconscious, doesn't crave what's predictable. It craves what feels alive. What's emotionally intense? What shakes her? She doesn't want to be comfortable. She wants to feel. Most men think giving her peace is the key to love, but peace doesn't always spark desire. What she wants in a level she might not even add Midas to feel. She wants to be surprised, to be pulled into a moment that makes her heart race, to lose control not because she wants to be hurt, but because that chaos makes her feel something. That's why the man who gives her peace might earn her gratitude, but the man who gives her emotional intensity is the one she can't stop thinking about. Look closely. The men she's drawn to are rarely the ones who do everything right. Often, it's the man who doesn't reply instantly, the one who doesn't over-explain himself, the man who remains calm even when she acts emotional, the one who makes her wonder, does he even need me? Can I get to him? That uncertainty, that mystery, it creates emotional gravity. It pulls her in. Desire lives in the unknown. When she has to chase you, she has to feel. And chasing is an emotional act. It activates her body, her mind, her desire, even if it hurts, even if it makes her anxious. Because the unconscious mind doesn't always care if something is pleasant. It cares if it's intense. It prefers powerful emotion, even pain, over numbness. That's why so many nice guys get left behind. Not because they're not good enough, but because they don't trigger anything. They're too available, too easy to understand, too emotionally safe. And when there's no challenge, desire dies. She says she wants safety, but her body craves the storm. Let's be clear. This doesn't mean you become cruel. It doesn't mean you play games or hurt her intentionally. That's not power. That's insecurity. What you do instead is stop chasing. You stop explaining. You speak less. You move with certainty. You let your energy do the talking. You let your presence say more than your words ever could. Because once a man becomes too easy to understand, he becomes forgettable. And when mystery disappears, attraction follows. So stop trying to be the man she says she wants and start becoming the man her unconscious can't forget. The man who doesn't beg to be loved but understands exactly why he is. She says she wants peace, but deep down, she's testing for power. In the last part, we uncovered how her unconscious pulls her toward emotional intensity, not surface level safety. Now, let's talk about how this desire plays out in real time and how most men fail to see it coming. Because here's the truth. She tests you, not always consciously, not with a plan, but through patterns, through mood swings, through silence, through sudden emotional storms. One day she's playful, affectionate, laughing in your arms. The next, She's cold, distant, unrecognizable, and you're left wondering, what did I do wrong? Did I miss something? Why is she pulling away when things were finally good? The emotional spiral that traps most men. You panic. You start overthinking. You replay every word you said. You send long texts hoping to fix things, hoping to bring her back. But here's what Freud understood and what most men never learn. She's not always testing you to hurt you. She's testing because something inside her is looking for strength. Not physical strength, not the strength of charm or charisma, but emotional structure, mental stability, the kind of strength that doesn't waver when she storms. Her chaos is a question. Can you hold her? When she starts an argument out of nowhere, when she says something cutting, when she pulls away for no reason, she's not trying to break you. She's trying to find your center. Can he hold his ground? Can he stay calm when I lose myself? Will he chase me, or will he remain rooted in his own power? If you chase, if you argue, if you fall into the emotional spiral with Hirsch, feels your weakness, not because she wants to destroy you, but because deep down, she wants to trust you. And to trust you, she needs to feel that your emotions are not controlled by hers. Your calm is the most attractive thing about you. When she cries, stay grounded. When she pulls away, give her space. When she provokes, you don't react. Not to punish her, not to manipulate her, but to show her something no man has shown her before. I do not lose myself to gain you. That's when she feels safe. That's when her guard drops. That's when she sees you as a man she can lean on, not just love. Because you've become the anchor in her storm. And that, brother, is when she respects you the most. Stop explaining, stop fixing, start leading. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to solve every mood. You don't need to chase harmony where harmony was never truly missing. She doesn't need you to fix her feelings. She needs to feel that yours aren't fragile, that your inner world doesn't collapse just because hers is in chaos. That's the kind of power she craves, and the kind of power most men never develop. Which is why so many stay stuck in the same cycle, confused, hurt, and blind. Words feel good, but energy never lies. Let me tell you why most men stay trapped in emotional loops with women. It's because they believe words more than energy. She says, I love you. She says, you're the only one I want. And you believe it because it feels good, because in that moment she seems sincere. And maybe she is. But love is not a promise made with words. It's a current, a pattern, a pull. And what she says in one breath can vanish in the next. Don't let sweet words blind you to shifting truth. One day she's warm, the next she's cold. One moment she's all in, the next she disappears like a stranger. And you ask, how can someone change that fast? But that's the pain that blinds most men. They think her words are the foundation of love. Freud knew better. He saw that real desire, the kind that at last doesn't live in what she says. It lives in what she does. And more than anything, it lives in what she feels when you refuse to be shaken. Her words change, her moods shift, but her patterns, those never lie. Previously, we explored how most men get trapped by believing words over energy. Now we move deeper into understanding what truly guides her behavior, the unconscious mind. Freud understood something most still ignore. Women, like all humans, are driven by what lies beneath awareness. And the unconscious doesn't speak in language. It speaks through vibe, movement, patterns, and repeated emotional rhythms. That's why the man she claimed to love yesterday might suddenly feel invisible today. Why? Because her unconscious is not chasing the man who says all the right things. It's chasing something more primitive, emotion, a challenge, a mystery. The unconscious mind wants mystery, not certainty. Certainty feels safe, but mystery feels alive. The unconscious doesn't crave routine, it craves intensity. It doesn't respond to promises, it responds to presence. That's why the man who's emotionally present in the moment has more power than the man who plans 10 dates ahead. Most men miss this. They think if they say the right words and do all the good guy things, she'll stay. But Freud would say, don't trust her, words watch her behavior. If she says she wants love but chases men who give her uncertainty, if she says she wants peace but always stirs conflict, if she says she wants a kind man but keeps going back to the one who challenges her, then what reveals her truth isn't what she says, it's what she repeatedly does. Energy doesn't lie, it reveals everything. Start paying attention to how she behaves when she's angry. Watch where she turns when she feels lost. Observe what kinds of men stir something deep in her, what kind of tension gets her attention. That's where the unconscious mind speaks, not in explanations, but in instinct. And when you finally understand that, something inside you shifts. You stop taking her mood swings personally. You stop needing to fix what was never your fault. You stop being that man, the one who always feels left behind, wondering what changed. Instead, you become the man who sees through it all. The one who knows, this isn't about me. This is about her pattern. And because you see the game behind the game, you no longer have to chase it. The man who sees without reacting. That's the man she can't control. The man she can't forget. The man she respects even when she doesn't know why. And here's where many men fall. They either become too soft, chasing every shift in her emotions, or they grow bitter and angry, believing women are manipulative or fake. But the truth? She's not faking. She's responding to something inside her, something she herself may not fully understand. Seeing her clearly without losing yourself. This is not about blaming her. It's not about hating women. It's about seeing her clearly without losing your center. Because when you see her actions for what they are, unconscious responses, you stop reacting. When she pulls away, you don't panic. When she creates drama, you don't get emotional. When she lashes out, you don't try to fix her or prove yourself. Instead, you stay calm. You stay solid. You hold your ground. You realize your storm is hers, not yours. And in that moment, you step into real masculine power. True power isn't force, it's presence. Most men react. They chase, they explain, they try to prove their worth. But when you understand her unconscious, you no longer play that game. You become grounded. You become free. You become the man who can stand still in her storm and remain unmoved. You don't collapse under her tests. You don't try to justify every little misunderstanding. Because here's the final truth. She doesn't respect the man who drowns in her emotions. She respects the man who stays calm no matter what wave hits. She follows the man who doesn't need to explain him because his energy already speaks loud enough. She doesn't need you to control her, she needs to feel safe enough to let go. In the last part, we explored how calm presents and not reaction is, what earns a woman's respect. Now, we step into the core of what she truly wants, but rarely says out loud. She stays with the man who can handle her fire without trying to put it out. Because when a man can hold space for her storm without losing his own ground, she finally feels something most women rarely do in today's world. Safe. Safe enough to drop the mask. Safe enough to stop fighting. Safe enough to trust. She doesn't want to lead. She wants to trust. In modern times, women are told to lead, to be strong, to carry everything. But deep down, many of them are exhausted. They don't want to control everything. They don't want to be in charge all the time. They want to relax into the presence of a man who doesn't need to be fixed, who doesn't fold, who doesn't chase. She wants to let go. But she can't do that if you're the one chasing her mood. She can't surrender if you're always reacting to her tests, questioning your worth, or trying to fix her emotions. what she wants, what her unconscious crevices to feel the strength of a man who can carry the emotional weight she's tired of holding. Freud knew, a woman surrenders when she feels a stronger frame. Freud once said, when a woman can finally surrender, she finds the peace she never knew she was missing. And she only surrenders when she feels your strength is greater than her emotional waves. Not greater in control, not greater in domination, but greater in depth, in awareness, in stillness. Because here's the hidden truth. Her unconscious runs the relationship. It's not logic, it's not plans, it's not goals. It's her inner pull, the invisible force inside her that decides who she loves, who she leaves, and who she never forgets. You can't lead if you don't understand her patterns. If you don't learn to read her patterns, not her words, you'll always feel betrayed. You'll always wonder why she leaves after saying, I love you. But if you watch her not as a puzzle to solve, but as a rhythm to observe, you begin to lead. Not through control, but through clarity. And the man who understands never chases. He doesn't collapse when she pulls back. He doesn't explain himself every time she turns cold. He doesn't panic when her vibe shifts. Why? Because he knows what's going on beneath her words. You stop changing to please her, and that's when she follows you. Understanding doesn't just give you peace, it gives you gravity. She starts to respect you without knowing why. She starts to follow your lead without needing promises. And she starts to crave your presence, not because you chase her, but because you don't need to. This is the kind of man she can't control and the kind she can't forget. Final words, you were never meant to stay lost. Let's be honest. You were never taught this truth for a reason. They didn't want you strong. They wanted you chasing. Confused, soft, easy to control, unsure of your worth, always needing validation, especially from her. Because a confused man is a weak man. But that version of you, he's gone. Now you've seen the truth. You've begun to decode the patterns. You no longer take words at face value. You watch the energy, the vibe, the body language, the silences. You see what's beneath her actions, and you understand her in a way even she might not. The real question, will you stay awake? Now comes the real test. Will you forget this? Will you go back to sleep, back to chasing, back to hoping she'll validate you? Or will you stay awake? Will you become the man who's never shaken again? Because when you understand her shadow, when you grasp the hidden emotional part of her that even she can't explain, you stop falling for the drama. You stop chasing. You stop reacting. You stop losing yourself. You become something much more powerful. You become the anchor. While the world reacts, you observe. While she tests, you remain grounded. While emotions shift, you stay centered. And that, my brother, is when the game ends. No more confusion, no more chasing, no more giving your power away to people who don't even understand their own. That is when your real power begins. You are no longer caught in her storm. Because now you are the calm in the middle of it.